Hi, this is Sergeant Beast Larson. If you want to be a correction officer, let me tell you about my first day, my thoughts of my first day. See if that'll help you a little bit in the decision, or help you as a new correction officer. First, I'll give you a little background. After high school, I went to the military. This was back in the 80s. Yeah, as you can tell from the gray, I'm a bit older. 52 now. Did my 4 years in the military, got out, got into law enforcement. Did my 20 years as a police officer and retired. I had the very fortunate opportunity of being on 2 SWAT teams. I was a police sniper. I left that and went and taught defensive tactics for 9 years. So I had a great deal of experience with a lot of things. Violent apprehensions, bank robberies, murder scenes, all of that stuff before corrections. So I get hired at a correction department and down in the state of Georgia, go through the training academy. You know, my week on the range, that first week, go to the academy for 5 weeks, come back. And they hadn't developed a training program yet. So my first day, I was sent down to a general population dorm. At the time, we had enough staffing to have one on C1, one for the C2, the other side, and a booth officer. Now, this dorm was predominant gangs, one gang on both sides. I won't tell you for safety reasons. The 2 officers with me, the booth and the other side, both had over 2 years experience, which was pretty considerable once I learned some things, how that went down there. They helped me. I started off 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. shift. We had breakfast, got the inmates ready for breakfast. I'm trying to fight through the sun here. The call outs for doctors, dentist appointments, psychiatrist appointments, any of the call outs were taken care of. The GED classes, he helped me with that. I helped him on his side. So it was a learning process, very fast paced. Of course, the inmates knew I was new, so they did their part to make sure it was fast. Later in the afternoon, we got a call from the lieutenant, and the other officer and a third officer came over. They said, take these 2 out of such and such cell, pat them down, search the cell, and then bring one of them, inmate so-and-so, up to me. We need to talk to him. So we bring them out. This is, after lunch. I'd already been there 6-7 hours out of a 12-hour shift. I had great experience with dealing with pat searches, handcuffing, stuff like that. So, okay, I'll pat him down, and you pat yours down, I pat mine down. He started coming off the wall, and I didn't know it. He was young. I knew he was a gang member from his tattoos, but I didn't know that a part of his initiation was to come off the wall and give me a hard time and test me. Well, I was 49 years old, and I was the wrong guy to test. He come off the wall. I gave him a warning, gave him a second warning. I knew there was dorm cameras on. I said, you come off again, I'm going to put you on the floor. Well, he came off again. And he got a Gerber slap to the back of the head. If you look at my stunning techniques video, you'll see what that is. He got a good Gerber slap. His head hit the wall, cut his eye. I mean, when you're going to strike somebody or use stunning techniques, you got to hit him good and make sure it counts. Hit him once. Well, by the time the blood could start to come out from up here, I'd already had the hammer lock on, hand up behind his back, got both handcuffs on, and was putting him on the ground face down. And they're like, whoa, we got to do this outside. We don't handcuff people in here. I said, this stuff started. I just secured him. Well, they never told us this. They didn't talk about this in the academy, and they didn't talk about this to us as new correction officers. So I learned that day that you take people outside unless there's a great exception. Did the use of force paperwork. Lieutenant came down, went through that process. They looked at the video. Oh, no, we got to look at the video. Why did you use your first day? They looked at it and like, oh, okay. He's coming, he's doing all that. Everything's fine. He did it fine. Finished up. We did our chow, ran dinner chow. Things got done, and everybody's like, how'd you know how to do that? Where'd you learn that? I said, well, I told you guys I work police. So I've done things like this. Oh, we're going to have to talk about this tomorrow. So my next day, after briefing lieutenant and sergeants, hey, Larson, stay back here a minute, talk with us. So we talked a little bit. They didn't know what was on my application, just the people that, and the lieutenant, deputy warden captain that interviewed, and I went through the hiring process. What does that mean? What does this mean? What does that mean? They asked questions. So to the supervisors watching this video, you need to learn who the people are that are coming in, learn what their strengths and what their training are. You know, if they're coming from the military, learn exactly what they know, ask questions. What they don't know, it's your responsibility to help them, point them in the direction to get some training. Just want to throw that out there. I went home, it was exciting. What did my wife and my kids say? How was your first day at work? That was pretty good. Well, did you have to hit anybody today? Yes, I did. It was my first day. Guess what happened later on the second day? On the other side, same gang, another inmate, a bigger inmate tried to test me. Similar situation on a wall pat down. And during his pat down, he had a big, about an 8-9 inch shank in his pocket. Well, I took it out. He started to move. He hit the wall, hit the floor. He had a weapon. He got cuffed. He was secured. The dorm wasn't all out that day. We just pulled those two out. So that's how my first 2 days went. Put some comments on here. Anybody watching this, tell me how your first day was as a correction officer. County jail, state prison, doesn't matter. Put it in the comments on the video, please. Tell me your first day. Good or bad? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Anything scary? Let's share this. Let's put this out for people. I'm not trying to distract anybody. We just don't want everybody to think you're walking in as a correction officer and you got 3 people holding your hand. You got bodyguards following you. You are your own bodyguard. This is sometimes a tough job. So you need to know what you're getting into. On the flip side of that, it's exciting, it's rewarding. Had a lot of great times and great memories as a correction officer. I'll tell you another video. Got to be on the CERT team, got to be assistant commander of a tactical squad later. It was all good times. It was fun. Thanks for joining. Don't forget, hit the like button, subscribe, post your comment about your first day in the remarks section, please. Thanks, and I'll see you soon.